You know that attachment is the causing you problem. That is causing you moha. That is causing you everything is the cause for it, attachment. Is it not so? So you learn. Shri Vidya takes us on the way before you achieve mukti. It gives you the way you live, having everything at your disposal and not getting attached to it.
Who can actually do Sri Vidya sadhana? Because somewhere, only when Devi wants, you can pray to her.
The very purpose of birth is that, according to me.
Okay.
The purpose of human is that, to realize that I am Brahman. Prarthana means prayer. We pray. Please, Amma, you or Shiva or Vishnu, please, I pray you, please give me this. This is a prarthana.
Grant me this.
Right?
Yeah.
Mantra is not that. It's different from the stotra and prarthana. The mantra is the sound form of the divine.
Hello everybody, this is your host Rangoli Sharma and welcome back to your favorite spiritual podcast, Speaking Tree. Another day and I've brought to you another exclusive episode of our English series, Mystic Mind. And I'm sure today's episode you're going to love a lot because today we are going to talk about one of your favorite topics, Sri Vidya. But it will be a myth-breaking podcast in a sense that, when we talk about Sri Vidya, people only think of Shri, but what is Sri Vidya beyond Shri, beyond wealth? This is the myth-breaking podcast for you. What is the approach you should have to call to Devi? We've talked about different approaches. We've talked about what is the ultimate purpose of Sri Vidya sadhana, how it transforms you. How is it different for a sannyasi and for a householder? So if you're a householder and you want to initiate into Sri Vidya sadhana, you should definitely watch this podcast. And I would say watch this podcast till the end and share it as much as you can because you're going to get some great insights out of this podcast. And now let me introduce to you a very special guest to you today. He has been a renowned teacher in Sri Vidya tradition, founder of Sri Vidya Mahasamsthan and a prolific author on the subjects of Sri Vidya. I would like to welcome Sri Atmanandanath Guruji. And today's beautiful look is sponsored by Isadora Life. Guruji, welcome to Speaking Tree. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show today. You're meeting my audience for the first time. And I'm just so loving your presence and whatever we talked off the camera. I'm just so grateful that we met today. And we are going to talk about Sri Vidya Devi today.
I'm happy to be here today. Let us pray the Guru. Ajnana timirandhasya gnananjana shalakaya chakshun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Because we're talking about Sri Vidya, Sri Vidyam Shivavama Bhaganilayam Shrinkara Mantrojvalam Shri Chakrankita Bindu Madhyavasatim Shri Matnaganayikam Srimad Shanmukha Vignaraja Janani Srimad Jaganmohini Meenakshi Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunyavaranidhi Meenakshi Karunya Varanidhim.
Wow, so beautiful, Guruji.
Here, Meenakshi Pancharatnam, Shankara tells, you are Sri Vidya. It is not Sri Vidya, is something else. She herself, Sri Vidya. Shiva Vama Bhaga Nilayam, you are on the left side of Shiva.
Yeah.
And you are Hinkara. I am explaining Sri Vidya today, that's all. That is Sri Vidya. Hrinkara mantrojvalam. Udvajvala means the brightness, The Hrinkara, you are brightening with that, the mantra Hrinkara. Hrinkara is known as Shakti Pranava, actually.
Okay.
The Omkara is referred to as Shiva Pranava, whereas Hrinkara is referred to Shakti Pranava. Shri Chakrankita Bindu Vasatim. Where are you, my dear? You are Shri Vidya. You are Hrinkara Mantrojvala, fine. Where are you? Shri Chakrankita Bindu Madhya Vasatim. Is it Shri Chakra? There is a apex there in Shri Chakra. What we call Bindu. You are residing in the center of that Bindu. Not only Bindu, in the center of Bindu. Shriman Sabhanayakam. Being you are in the center of the Bindu, there's a great court. The court of the whole universe,
Yeah.
And Nayakam, that you are cheering that, the whole Sabha. Where are you? Chakrankita Bindu Madhyasatim Sabha Nayakam. Okay, then what? Shri Shanmukha Vignaraja Jananim. You are the mother of Kartikeya. Shanmukha is not known in North, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's Kartikeya, Shanmukha, who got 6 faces. And Vignaraja, Ganapati.
Ganesha.
Janani.
Yes. Very beautifully said, Guruji. And, as you explained this mantra, people, I think, very unfortunately think that Shri Vidya, when we talk about Shri Vidya, it's only wealth, because wealth is Shri. So I think today's podcast is going to be a very myth-breaking podcast for my audience, because today we are going to talk about what is Shri Vidya beyond Shri, beyond wealth. That I would love to know from you, for my audience.
Already I told you what Shri Vidya is.
But what is it beyond wealth?
I'll go. Shri Vidya as such, it is the universal consciousness and the energy. The union of this consciousness and energy made the unmanifested universe into manifest. That is Shri Vidya. Not limited to Lakshmi or Saraswati or Parvati, etc. I hope I am very clear in this. Shri Vidya is that. Shri Chakra Bindu Madhya Vasatim, I told you already, it is the highest form of the whole universe is Shri Vidya. Then, is it only for wealth?
Yeah.
No. But she also gives that, because Lalita Sahasranama says, Bhukti Mukti Pradayini.
Yeah.
This is the only place where, by worshipping her or by doing her sadhana, by realizing her, whatever I can play with words, that makes no difference. One can attain all the material comforts called bhukti. All the material, without asking for it.
Like that's a byproduct of Shri Vidya sadhana, right?
Yeah. And mukti is the ultimate.
Wow.
He gives you mukti not simply, madam, along with bhukti. My point. So, it is not limited to only bhukti. It is also lead to mukti. It's a byproduct. And yes, as you said, mostly Shri Chakra, when I say, it is for Lakshmi Pujan. It has been reduced to that.
Yeah, true.
And it really prompted me properly. Today, Shri Chakra is reduced to Shri Lakshmi Puja. Shri Chakra reduced to doing Lalita Sahasranama Archana. That is enough. It stopped. Shri Vidya is Lakshmi Puja. Shri Vidya is performing Lalita Sahasranama Archana, Kumkum Archana. We stop there.
True.
Isn't that so? That's what is normal people understand.
Yeah. Only to material comforts,
It's not limited. And that is also part of it. I don't deny that. But that is not Shri Vidya. Shri Vidya is an effort. to see that we realize that union of the Shiva and Shakti. And how do you realize? There is no Advaita comes here, non-duality. There is no difference between any individual and the universe, macrocosm and microcosm. If I tell you, I should not find any difference between Rangoli and myself. No. Because the same, whatever Chaitanya in me is in you.
True.
Also in the universal conscious energy, realizing that, understanding it, finally experiencing it is Shri Vidya Tantra.
Like
That leads to
experiencing that divinity within yourself
Yes.
is Shri Vidya.
That is Shri Vidya.
Wow.
And then how do you
realize that?
Is it not? That question has to come from you.
Exactly. Because, Guruji, as you rightly said before the podcast, that we all are divine, but not all of us recognize that we are divine. If we don't recognize, how would we experience it?
Yeah. So we know that what Shri Vidya is. Shri Vidya is the supreme. And the practice to realize, understand, and experience. The knowledge is not sufficient. Is it not so? And you should realize that knowledge and one should experience. Is it not so? Is it any useful having any knowledge without experiencing it? So this is what it is. Shri Vidya Sadhana, or you call it Vidya Tantra. This can be whatever the name we call today for our convenience or convincing. There are two forms. One is the external worship, and one is the internal worship.
So, Guruji, as you said this, I would love to ask, what are the different approaches to which we can,
I'm
call up to Shri Vidya?
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
First, let me talk about what are the external approach. Because one has to begin externally. Because when you want to learn a language, you must learn from the alphabet.
True.
Isn't it so?
Yeah.
Then you learn the language and you don't need to spelling and all. You simply write. Rangoli, if you want to write, child, you will say Rangoli. Then you will not. So, it comes automatically. Whereas, the sadhana begins from worship externally. What is that external worship? That is putting in front of you Shri Chakra. Whether in the form of a chakra or in the form of a 3D, as we call Shri Chakra Mahameru. See, that is having 9 avaranas, 9 enclosures of 5 enclosures of Shakti and 4 enclosures of Shiva, both intertwined. That shows the union. Shri Chakra, think about that. The union of Shiva and Shakti is Shri Chakra.
Yes.
It is in the physical form you will see. You start from there. You begin that. For that, you will be given some mantras also. Normally, the practice begins from Varamahaganapati mantra, and then goes to Bala Tripura Sundari mantra.
The Bal Roop of the Devi.
The child form, girl form. Then they go to higher strength, but they will be learning to perform Nava Avarana Puja. There are 9 enclosures in Shri Chakra.
Okay.
Yeah. Same 9 avaranas also within the body.
So fascinating.
So, you start from external worship of Shri Chakra. Over a period of time, you realize the Shri Chakra within the body. The body itself is Shri Chakra. Okay? There are 9 avaranas, very much in. Bindu is here, Bhupura is here, all avaranas here. So you go on worshipping Shri Chakra with Navavarana Puja, with a specific method for Navavarana. It is mentioned Parashrama Kalpasutra is a text for that. Nityotsava. And even my Parameshtu Guru also wrote Sri Vidya Saparya Paddhati, very elaborative worship of Sri Chakra. And I wrote it in Kannada also, for the purpose of people in Kannada. Sri Chakra Archana Chandrika. It has got the elaborate worship. That's the beginning of your journey towards the realization, knowledge. Of course, experience comes later. There, each avarana or each enclosure, we identify different energies. We call divinities, but they're all energies surrounded by Ambal, who is in the Bindu.
Yeah.
9 avaranas, Nava avarana it's called. This is how we begin. Then he slowly gets into mantra japa. The mantra is, I did not want to say, the Vyutpatti of mantra is from Mananat Prayate iti mantraha. It's an explanation of mantra.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Whichever that you meditate upon, which protects you, that's mantra.
Okay.
Okay, I'm very clear here. And, we said now, I'm chanting some stotra.
Yeah.
There is a stotra where we praise her, praise the divine. Right?
That happens in most of the stutis.
Yeah, all of us
and
doing it.
stotras that God, you're great.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
great, you are that,
Yeah,
you are
you
this,
did
you are so
that,
beautiful,
yes.
you wear this, you
Yes,
have
you're
4
so
hands, you have 5
powerful.
hands, you have
Yeah.
you have all this. Then prarthana. Prarthana means prayer. We pray. Please, Amma, you or Shiva or Vishnu, please, I pray you, please give me this. This is a prarthana.
Grant me this.
Right?
Yeah.
Mantra is not that. It's different from the stotra and prarthana. The mantra is the sound form of the divine. If I say Ganapati mantra, the Ganapati is visualized by you in the form of some form, 4 hands with trunk and all that. But the mantra is a physical form of Ganapati. Mantra is the sound form of Ganapati. Mantra itself is Ganapati. So when I say Sri Vidya mantra, it is not either stotra or prarthana. I am seeing the physical form in front of me and I am experiencing its sound form within me by meditating on that mantra. That's mantra. That's mantra sadhana.
Wow.
That's mantra. Mantra is divine itself, not prizing divine. So it is in some Bijakshara, sealed syllables are there. It is made beautifully. And I tell you, the difference now I should tell you when I come to Vidya. Veda mantras also there.
Veda mantras.
Yeah, there.
Okay.
They have also the Rishi, the historical Rishi. It has got a meter also, Chandas. And Devata, of course. It stops there. Whereas, all tantric mantras, including the Srividya Tantra, it has got a Rishi, not a historical Rishi. One who visualized that sound form of the divine. Please understand this. If I say Ganaka Rishihi for Ganapati mantra, or if I say Dakshinamurti Rishihi for Bala mantra, the person who has made that, he has visualized that sound form of the divine. That is Rishihi. Chandas also mentioned, it is not Chandas of Sanskrit grammar. I just give you some example for that. If I say Bala mantra for that matter, we refer to as Pankti Chandaha. Pankti Chandaha, Sanskrit grammar, it is something 40 letters, alphabets. In, I don't remember right now, 8 into 5 or 10 into 4, something like that. Don't brood me on that. I remember 40 letters. But this Bala mantra has only 6 letters.
Why?
Then I refer to Chandaha. Pankti Chandaha. It's always big confusion. No, that Chandaha is not the Sanskrit grammar. This Chandaha is the vibration the mantra creates. The 6 letters create the vibration of that 40 letters or whatever it is. That's called. Very, very important, which Veda mantra doesn't have, is Bija Shakti Kilaka. Every Shividya mantra has the seed. That mantra from where it has sprouted. Seed.
Bija Shakti Kilaka.
Shakti. Where's the energy of that mantra? Which syllable in that mantra is Shakti? So, in a particular mantra, so and so syllable is Bija, seed. So and so syllable is Shakti. You got me?
Yes.
Energy. And so syllable is Kilakam. Kilakam is which can open up, or which can you get tied to that. There are 2 meanings of Kilaka. One is the opening. One is you tie to that yourself before going for chanting. This is then start your Nyasa. Very, very, very important in tantric practice in Nyasa. You put those seed syllables into your fingers. Like this. Each you have 5 fingers and you place that energy of that mantra and that seed syllable into your hands, fingers. Then you place them in 6 angas. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 angas. That means you yourself become the divine. This is I'm talking normal mantra. When it goes to Sri Chakra Aradhana Puja, there are number of nyasas. Matruka Nyasa, Sushti Nyasa, Sthiti Nyasa, Akshara Nyasa, Murti Nyasa, Chakra Nyasa. I can give Mahashoda Nyasa, Lagu Shoda Nyasa. That's the way. While performing the yoga, you become yourself, placing those syllables into your body in different parts. You become divine. You become divine.
Exactly how you said that Sri Vidya makes you realize your own divinity.
You become divine. Then after that you start chanting the mantra. So that is the next stage I am coming to. External. And Nyasa is very important, where you put your seed syllables into your own body.
Exactly.
So you become yourself divine.
Now we are talking about the internal sadhana.
Internal.
Yes.
First of internal.
Yes.
The next step, you go further deep into it. We talk about this when we talk about Lalita Sahasranama. There, you will see that energy which is dormant in Muladhara, the base chakra, transcends and reach the Sahasrara.
Wow, the Kundalini rising happens.
Yeah, to get that Shakti, getting union with the Shiva in Sahasrara, which gives you bliss, the Ananda, that cannot be experienced, explained. That is the ultimate state of Shividya practitioner. Then he becomes himself Brahman. He becomes divine himself. That is the ultimate. You got now the stages one has to pass through. In whatever the name you call it, I don't mind. You have so many, this achara, that achara, everything. I don't want to touch upon that. It's only confusion. One is, you begin your sadhana with external worship of Shri Chakra. Try to presume that you are also the part of Shri Chakra. Then move on to mantra japa with sanctifying yourself, divinizing yourself.
Yeah.
Ultimate. We talk about this very elaborately when I talk about
very in a detailed manner.
Lalita Sahasranama.
Yeah.
There are 2 different wonderful ways is given in Srila Sahasranama.
Yeah.
See that. Rangoli. I cannot explain. If you say I am experiencing now, you may not believe it. Yes, it's an experience. One cannot put a label there, I'm experiencing it.
True.
You got my point?
Yeah. That happens too.
You can't
Many
put a board, I'm
experiences of
experiencing
life.
it.
Like we cannot make the other person understand what
You
we are
can't.
experiencing.
It's my own.
Yes. True.
My own. That's it. And it can be achieved easily by any person who does it. This is Sri Vidya. This is Sri Vidya. It's not just a mantra. It is not just a worship. It is not just only Lakshmi or Saraswati, Vandishra, etc. And come on. You reach this state. The entire thing will be at your command, madam. Take it from me. Because you are in the bliss. In the bliss, everything falls in place. Is it not so? When you came here first, you said me, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So there is a small difference between the happy and bliss.
What is it?
Yeah, good question. Always happiness is object oriented. I'm happy because I got a good new car today. I'm happy today. But tomorrow, the same may not give me happy because it's become old. That is, the happiness is objective. Today, this gives me happiness. Tomorrow, something else gives me happiness. What given me happiness yesterday may not give me today happiness.
Like it has a factor to it. It's coming
always
from
objective.
something.
Always objective.
Yeah.
Temporary. But if I use the word bliss, and if I want to put in Sanskrit or Indian language, Ananda,
Yes.
that Ananda is not objective. It has nothing to do with any object. It is you yourself. You are in Ananda. You are in Ananda. You are in bliss. Reaching that stage is the ultimate Sri Vidya, and being always there with Vidya. That is bliss.
Okay.
That's possible only when there's a union of the consciousness and energy. When the Shakti meets Shiva, then only that Ananda comes to you. That's the Sri Vidya practice.
Wow. So if I conclude for my audience that one of the ultimate goals of Sri Vidya Sadhana is that it awakens your Kundalini, the union of the Divine Father and the Divine Mother. It happens within you, the union of Shiva and Shakti. That's Sri Vidya.
Exactly. Finally come to that. When I should say beyond that also. We call it as Kundalini. See, we want to give some name.
Yeah.
Okay, because identification.
Yeah, because we want to understand.
Identification. It is another way is you are that. You are that. And you try to realize that what you are is possible only when that Shakti meets Shiva. That Shakti, if I want to call it as Kundalini, welcome.
So Guruji, now that we understood what is actually Sri Vidya beyond wealth and how to do the sadhana, I'm sure so many viewers would have the question that who can actually do Sri Vidya sadhana, because somewhere, only when Devi wants, you can pray to her, you can ask her. And I somewhere also feel that it's also a journey of many lifetimes that a soul is carrying.
Rangoli, it is meant for everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. According to me, everyone is born to get it. Unfortunately, we may not using it. Everyone is born. The very purpose of birth is that, according to me.
Okay.
The purpose of human is that, to realize that I am Brahman and I am that. Yeah. So the best, easiest, comfortable way for even a householder is Sri Vidya. He can begin. Anybody, anytime, he can start. And I'm sure once they get into that, get into the groove of that, they enjoy their life, I'm telling you. So there is no restriction at all, no restriction. I agree. Vedic rituals, Vedic practices, though Upanishad did not say that, but we have imposed restrictions on that. I don't want to comment on that. Let it be there. It is a custom. Who am I to? But Sri Vidya Tantra is not restricted to anybody, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, gender. anybody. It is beyond. It is nothing. I don't want to attach anything to that. No strings attached. Anybody. Because what are you realizing? Nature. You are nature. For that, any requirement is needed?
No.
You are that manifestation of the universe in the microcosm form. To realize you need any condition? No condition apply. Except your willing to do it. Your intention to do it. Your devotion towards that. Only the requirement. And you begin journey. Once you begin the journey, that all depends on how you take it forward. That's it. So, I think you got the answer. There is no one is bad from this. Everybody, it is that. Very Tantra Shastra is meant for that actually. See.
For everybody.
Yeah. Particularly when it comes to Sri Vidya, the more sober, more simple, accessible to everybody. And I don't know to touch upon other Vidyas. We have, as you said, the Shamadevi affirming Kali, Tara and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're ferocious. You may not be able to tolerate them also. No, she is mother. You do whatever mistakes, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for this statement. Even your sadhana, you make some mistakes, no problem. She is mother, she will excuse you. You are comfortable.
She is very calm and soft.
She is mother. Mother forgives everything to a child. You are the child, right? Then what is the problem? Mother is so close to you. She is most lovable to you. You can just love her. It is not just the fear. It is a love towards her. You with love you practice. How do you like? How it will be? Just imagine. What a beautiful way of reaching the ultimate for a human liberation. Is it not so?
True.
Easiest way, isn't it so?
It is.
Yeah, one should take up. And it is not something which comes in your regular thing. You can do whatever you want. You spend some time for it. Just, okay, I am doing this. Okay, purpose is what? I am realizing what I am. I want to be one with that universe. I tell you, no, maybe I am going a little out of the way. Even a continuous thought in a person, I am one with that itself gives you that, I am telling you. That thought will not come to you, I am one with that, unless you start practicing. That's where you need practice. Isn't it so? Somewhere you start with the external ritual, then the mantras, then go very deep into. That's how it is. So it is open to everybody. There, I use the word, there shall not be restriction for this.
True, sir. Very rightly said. But at the same time, Guruji, now that you said that Sri Vidya is for everybody, it's somewhere our birthright to pray to Devi, to pray to Ma. But so many householders especially, they have this doubt that what if I have to follow certain rituals? So here I want to ask, what is the difference in sadhana of Sri Vidya between a householder and a sannyasi, a renunciate?
I will address the householder.
Okay.
Because that is my... Because they have their different methods of their achieving. And they are not restricted to practice Sri Vidya also. I don't say no. But my focus is more on the householders. They should be given a path.
True.
Very clear path, perfect path, where the purpose of human is achieved. The purpose of human is what? Liberation, is it not so?
It is.
And liberation is what? Is it after death? No.
It's living liberation, living moksha.
You should feel that.
Yes.
That's we call the Jivan Mukti. You know that you live it always in bliss. Whatever happened to around you, you are not attached to it.
Yeah.
At the same time, you enjoy everything. This is Sri Vidya, my dear. That means you are not averse to anything. And I tell everybody, this is my slogan, enjoy every bit of life. I can tell only householder. Isn't it so? This I can tell only householder. Because there's everything available to you in this universe. You are living in, enjoy. Not simply enjoy every bit of life, but the Shividya teaches you not to get attached to it. Hope I get message is very clear and loud.
Yeah.
You are not prevented to enjoy anything. It's permitted to, in fact, enjoy every bit of life, but not getting attached to it. By Shividya practice, it happens automatically without your knowledge. You know, you enjoy everything, but you don't get attached to it. The attachment is the problem, isn't it so?
True. And that happens in life also, Guruji. Like we are attached to
And
things.
how do you feel? Well, suppose you tomorrow Rangoli achieves enjoyment, everything you don't attach it to. Don't you feel happy about it?
Yeah.
Is it not that you are looking for? You know that attachment is the causing you problem. That is causing you moha. That is causing you everything is the cause for it, attachment. Is it not so? So you learn. The Shividya takes us on the way to before you achieve mukti. It gives you the way you live, having everything at your disposal and not getting attached to it.
Wow.
Is it that one wants in the life? Is it? Definitely Shividya gives it. No doubt in it. Not because she is that.
Yeah. And Guruji, is there any difference between the sadhana of a sannyasi, as I asked?
Sannyasi asked it, he said, I left everything. So for them, where should you talk about enjoyment? I did not talk about it. Isn't it so? He may not go for any external ritual, or he may also go for it. I don't know. Because I was told many sannyasis do practice Shividya. Okay. Let them. What's the problem? Finally, same thing. When Shankara also referred to as Shividya practitioner.
Yeah.
And he wrote, and they said, once again, they say, Saundara Lahari was not written by him. See, let me not get into all that. Shividya is also there. Shividya is. When it comes to internal, you might have achieved internal sadhana. Who stops you? Who stops you? See, when we talk about Lalsa Sahasranama, I can elaborate on this particular point, whether it is householder or it is a sannyasi. It makes no difference. Householder will be doing it, having all comforts at his disposal. Sannyasi will be doing it without that. What is the difference it makes? What difference?
Yeah. Because the ultimate goal is the same.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And when I said enjoy every bit of life, there's already line between line reading.
Yeah.
You are not restricted to anything. Very simply.
True.
Though I am not specifically told.
Yeah.
I mean that. You are not restricted to anything.
Yeah.
You do this, you don't do that, you don't eat this, you don't eat that. Nothing is there. Please. At the same time, you know that the food and our psyche has some relationship, which we can't deny. There are 3 types of food, Satvika, Rajasa and Tamasa.
Yeah.
Should we not go for Tamasa? If I say that, yes, people may object. But she is Trigunatmaka. She is Nirgunatmaka also. She has no qualities. Yes, Nirguna. And also Triguna. Not only single guna, Satvika. Not only Dviguna. Only Rajasa. She is all Trigunatmaka. Is it not so? Then why should you be look at Tamasa as something which I don't want? I'm sorry, it may create, people may look at me, what this fellow talking about Tamas also. Yes, I'm talking with sort of consciousness here. Consciously I'm talking about. When I refer to her Trigunatmaka, is it not Trigunatmaka Tamas also in that?
It is.
Without that Triguna becomes? No. So, but maybe a balanced one. Is it not so? The householder has to have all Trigunas.
Wonderful, Guruji.
Otherwise, he will not be successful in his life at all. That's also required. Can you run away from all your comforts, all your requirements, all your family? Don't you have responsibilities? Yeah. Here comes Srividya, madam. Here comes Sri Vidya, where you will fulfill all your needs or requirements and responsibilities. Still, you achieve the ultimate human goal of realization, ultimate goal of liberation, ultimate goal of Jan Mukti. Is it not good?
It's very beautiful. So, Guruji,
Is it not?
Yes.
People should take it up without any hesitation.
Yeah.
There shouldn't any fear. There's a fear also, you know that?
Yeah.
Shri Chakra, should I keep in the house, Guruji? People ask me this question. You also might have known that. Whether we can keep Shri Chakra in the house?
Where should we put it? Which direction?
Oh, what to do? You are living in that universe. And that is the miniature of universe. Are you running away from the universe? You are living?
Yeah.
That's the miniature of universe. What is wrong in keeping it? Whatever the results maybe we have created that fear also. Please. The fear is one rules many things. I think I should say from this forum, there shall not be any fear for worshipping, doing sadhana of Shri Vidya, and that is the ultimate. There should not be any reservation. Everybody is eligible, that's all I should say. Afterwards, how they pursue that, what they achieve, it left to them. You have been given admission to the school. There is no restriction for that. But then how you take it forward is your own effort, your own intention, your own interest. Is it not so?
Yeah.
But that should be open to everybody. That's my this thing. And the very purpose of Sri Vidya Mahasamsthana is that. My Parameshti Guru, Siddhananda Natharavs, I mentioned in blog also, he was telling Sri Vidya root should reach every house because that is the essence of life. Essence of life. That's life itself. Realizing that you are universe. You are universe. You are that. You are that. You are that. You are that. So, Sri Vidya Mahasamsthana is for that purpose. And I should very loudly say, non-commercial. And Sri Vidya is a Brahma Vidya, which makes one's life something great for which he is born. How can it be a price tag for it? There shall not be any price tag. But our custom says Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina can be 1 rupee also. Guru Dakshina can be a fruit also. Is it not so? That is your love offering to the Guru who has given you. You can offer in any way you want. It doesn't need not be the way or in that particular kind only. Even a fruit is a dakshina. Is it not so? So that is the purpose of Sri Vidya Mahasamsthana. One is to take it to whoever wants it and with no price tag. Only requirement is the intention, interest to go ahead with this.
Very beautiful. So, Guruji, I'm sure that so many of my viewers would relate a lot to this podcast because, as I said in the introduction itself, that Sri Vidya is one topic that people are very curious about because so many want to pray to Devi, but they don't know how to. They have so many questions as beginners, but I'm sure that this podcast of ours will give them the clarity. So, thank you so much for joining us today and for this wonderful discussion on Sri Vidya.
Good, Rangoli. Thank you also. And speaking Sri. And with this, if people who are the audience have cleared their doubts on Sri Vidya or with restricted information on Sri Vidya, if they have expounded and really understood what Sri Vidya is and knowing their own eligibility also for that, I think my purpose of coming here and your purpose of being here will be really useful.
Truly good.
I wish and pray Shri Mata and my Guru Mandala to immensely bless all the people around me here today who are watching this video, to bless them immensely and lead them to that being in bliss always.
Thank you again, Guruji. So do let me know in the comment section, how did you like today's podcast? We talked about the ultimate purpose of Sri Vidya. We talked about what is Sri Vidya sadhana beyond wealth. We talked about different approaches to which you should call Devi. So as I said in the introduction itself, it is going to be a myth-breaking podcast. So if you want to start your journey in Sri Vidya sadhana, do share this podcast as much as you can. And I will see you in the next one. This is your host Rangoli. Namaste.